Armani code Absolute Gold. I have this right here, ordered from the Armani website itself. So this is the most legit you can get this bottle. And today I also have a sample of Dolce Gabbana, the intense version, the Eau de Parfum intense version. Now I didn't buy the full bottle, and I'll explain later in the video why I didn't, but for now, let's jump into the intro. Yo, what's up guys, Tim here, welcome back to another video on the Imagine Scent channel. I know I've been gone for a while, so forgive me. I've been preparing a lot of videos for work and for a lot of other projects that's going on in my life because I am going on vacation tomorrow. So actually, the day this video comes out is the day that I'm already on my way to Japan to see Ashton from Just Scents and Manny from Cascade Scents. So we're gonna be chilling in Japan for about a week, hence why I've been so busy just preparing a lot of stuff beforehand. But yeah, I'm back now and there should be some videos coming out every other day while I'm on vacation, so look forward to some content. So today, let's jump right into it. We're here for two new releases. I have right here Armani Code Absolute Gold. Now this one, I'm gonna do this one last since I have the full bottle of it. The one I'm more interested in is this one, the one Eau de Parfum Intense. Now I've seen a lot of reviews already going out in the YouTube world. So I'm a little bit late, but better late than never. I'm gonna spray it here. And I got this on eBay from a very, very reputable seller. So this is authentic 100%. Plus there's already bottles being sold. So there's no reason for me to think that this is not authentic. So let's smell this thing. I'm not even gonna look at the notes. I did not read or watch any review whatsoever because I don't want it to influence what I think of this one. So, this one's quite a bit more powdery. Like it leans towards the, what's it called? The patchouli tonka bean type of mode. And patchouli tonka bean, musky type of a cloudy powderiness in a way. A little bit dusty. I really don't know what to think about this one. Off of first impression, I would say that this is slightly bit underwhelming. It's a little sweet. It's like a dusty, powdery-ish sweetness. Now I can't tell if the powderiness is coming from the tonka bean or not. If there's tonka bean in here, it's very, very little. It doesn't come off as like a rich, thick tonka bean like in Pulse of Night or in Prada Luna Rosa Black. This one comes off just a little bit more just powdery and sweet, but not as thick and rich as a tonka bean note would be. There's a clean vibe in here as well. So clean, sweet, powdery, slightly bit dusty, thick and cloudy. I really don't know how to think about this one. Maybe the dry down is a little bit better, but the opening so far, a little bit lackluster. Now I do have the original Eau de Parfum right here with me. And this one, man, tobacco and cardamom in here jumps off right away, just even off the cap. In comparison to this one, I don't know if I get any of the tobacco or the cardamom, or I don't really get a lot of things that resembles Dolce Gabbana 1 EDP, in my personal opinion. This one has a lot more character, it has its own kind of DNA. While this one so far, off of first sniff, it's a bit underwhelming. It really is a bit underwhelming. It feels like Dolce Gabbana is taking a page from YSL. You know what YSL did with the YSL La Nuit de l'Homme Eau de Parfum? That one, they made the original La Nuit de l'Homme a lot more wintry, a lot more fall and heavy and powdery and tonka beany. I really don't like that one so much. I have it in there. Yeah, I actually have it in a drawer. I'm not even gonna pull it out because I don't really care too much about it. It feels like Dolce Gabbana did the same, but with, you know, the one line where it takes the DNA and really kind of muted what it originally was and adding a lot of these kind of sweet, kind of powdery-ish notes, maybe tonka bean, maybe amber, but it's just like a cloud of powdery, dusty, with a little bit of sweetness, a little bit of cleanliness. It really feels like a fall fragrance. It feels like a fall and winter fragrance, but it lacks what made the original great. You know what I mean? And by original, I mean the EDT and the EDP for this one, both of course, because they smell so similar. It lacks what made the EDP great. So, don't really know how I feel about that one so far. And as it dries down, it becomes cleaner. The powderiness starts to settle down a little bit. It's not as cloudy. It's not as overwhelmingly powdery. It starts to become cleaner, if you will. But at the end of the day, it doesn't have that sexiness. It doesn't have that cardamom, that spiciness, that freshness that makes the EDP so well known. And as you guys know, freshness is the #1 comment getting factor when it comes to fragrances in general. A fragrance needs to be at least fresh to to be even considered an all-star compliment-getting fragrance. Even sweet fragrances like Jean Paul Gaultier Ultramel or 1 Million has a little bit of freshness in it to really lift up the sweetness and loosen it up and make it not too rich or not too thick. Freshness plays a big role in making something mass appealing, and they kind of took the fresh spiciness, a fresh kind of nuance from the EDP away in this version. Makes me very glad that I did not just blind buy a bottle of this, because I was gonna buy it, and the reason I did not buy it is because on eBay right now it is $113, not including shipping, which is like $15, and tax and everything. I would have been paying at least $135 for 100 ml of Dolce Gabbana The One Eau de Parfum Intense. And at that point, that is niche pricing, and I'm not gonna spend that. Even for a review like this, I simply think that that's just too much. For me to spend like near $150 just for a video is, to me, a little too much, wherein I can just get a sample, smell it. And for me, I'm getting a little bit of PTSD as well, because my two previous blind buys of designer fragrances, that being Sauvage Parfum and La Nuit de l'Homme Eau de Parfum, both of those have been major dislikes to me, so I've wasted a lot of money. So I'm feeling a little bit of a PTSD when it comes to blind buying bottles now. So I'm glad I just got a sample of this one, because this one is another disappointment for me, initially anyway. But of course, I'm gonna give this one a fair wearing, a few days wearing, and come back and judge it for you guys in a full review in the future, maybe with or without a bottle, depends on how the price drops over time. So yeah, overall, does it smell bad? No, it doesn't. But does it live up to the legend that is the EDP? Absolutely not. Not even close, in my personal opinion. It really is a far cry from the EDP. I really don't care for it. But yeah, that's the initial test of this one. Very disappointing, but again, like I said, I'm gonna give it fair wearings and present you guys with a full review later on in the future. And to reinforce my point, it does not smell bad. It smells nice, pleasant, clean, sweet, slightly bit powdery now. But at the end of the day, it's not a masterpiece. It's not going to replace the one Eau de Parfum, at least in my personal opinion, and is one that to me initially right now might be forgotten over time, and is quite a disappointing release, although not really that bad smelling. It just doesn't live up to this guy. All right, next we have Armani Code Absolute Gold. Now this one is one that I've actually watched one review of before, because I was forced to watch it because I edited for Ashton, if you guys don't know, and he did a first impression of this one. And guess who edited that one? Me. So yeah, I was forced to endure the spoiler of this fragrance. I was robbed of the pure first impression. Thanks, Ashton. So cruel. So yeah, I have the box right here. Armani Code Absolute Gold. And as you guys all know, I like the original Absolute a lot. I like it nearly as much as the Profumo. I would say very neck and neck, like splitting hairs type of neck and neck. They're so close. And this one's such a wonderful release. There's no doubt in my mind that I would recommend this to a friend any day of the week. So very amazing stuff. We'll be comparing that to this one soon. Let's look here at the bottle. Woo-hoo-hoo. An all gold bottle with the signature. This is a dope looking bottle. I really enjoy the look of this gold. It just looks phenomenal. Now, this is not actually the first gold bottle that Armani ever released. Fun fact, let me grab that bottle and show you. This is actually the first gold bottle Armani ever released. This one is Armani Code, the original. This is a 2013 limited edition bottle, which is, like you see here, pure gold. Now, this one does not have any difference in smell from the original Armani Code. It's just in a decorative gold bottle. The smell is the same as the original. And actually, if you guys are looking for a more older batch of Armani Code, because the Armani Code batch now, let's face it, is very weak, and it smells just absolutely a far cry from the original or older batches of Armani Code. Armani Code newer batches now has the band that all these newer bottles have, and the old Armani Code does not have that band, as you can see here. So if you want an older batch, you can go ahead and search on eBay and search on reputable sellers website for this bottle right here, the gold bottle of Armani Code, because this one was only released in 2013, thus it has the 2013 batch. And I've personally tested this one versus the batch inside Macy's. This one smells much stronger than the batch inside Macy's. The top notes and the base notes, there's a difference in the two fragrances for sure. So a little bit of a sidetrack here, but I thought I'd tell you guys, if you do want the original code DNA, go for the gold bottle. You will for sure get the older batch, the 2013 batch anyway. So back to Armani Code Absolute Gold. This one, ho ho ho. Whew. Time to spray it on this side. Bam, right there. I'm excited. I'm legit so excited because Ashton spoiled it for me. He said it was awesome. Now I'm just excited. Very, very excited. Woo! Whoa, it hits you with just a blast right away. The sweetness comes at the forefront. Absolutely. There's a little bit of spiciness in here. Now I'm privy to know that this does have saffron in it, and I do smell it pretty heavy in this fragrance. And saffron, fun fact, it's not one of my favorite notes ever. Saffron is actually one of my least favorite notes. It's one of the most expensive notes, sure. It's a prestigious note, sure, but it's so overused. I really don't care much about saffron because in Middle Eastern type fragrances, saffron is used so much. In any Western style fragrances that kind of takes inspiration from the Middle East style fragrances, like Western style fragrances that includes oud or rose or any type of those notes tend to use saffron in the formula, and I smell saffron everywhere when I smell those type of fragrances. Like rose oud fragrances tend to have saffron in it as well, making me not like saffron too much. Saffron is kind of overused and it starts to smell generic, and I do smell saffron in this one, but luckily it's not so much. The sweetness really takes over. The saffron really adds a hint of spiciness, and when I say a hint, I mean a hint. It's so small inside Armani Code Gold, but it really makes it its own in a way. Like I can tell the difference between this one and Armani Code Absolute right away. This one is much more silky smooth sweetness, and it doesn't have that kind of like dark spiciness that this one has that comes from the saffron. So immediately off the top, these two are different fragrances. Although they share similarities, I would say still it's around maybe 90% similar. So there's only a 5 to 10% difference in the opening. This one just being a little bit more spicier, a little bit darker, and actually a little bit less synthetically smelling. So it's more rounded off, if you will, than this one. Believe it or not, this one is already pretty silky smooth, round off type of sweetness. This one is even more round off. So yeah, it's nice. I do like this one, but do I like this one over this one so far? In terms of the opening, of course, we're not talking about the mids or dry down because I didn't get there yet. But in terms of the opening, I like this one more. This one, to me, a little bit more mass appealing. The sweetness is a little bit brighter. It's not as thick, it's not as rich. And this one just come across a lot easier to wear than this one. This one is a little bit thicker. And when it comes to thicker fragrances in general, they're just gonna be a little bit harder to wear. And that's just fact. And that's what's happening here in comparison to this one. This one, easier to wear, brighter sweetness, silky smooth. This one, a lot smoother, a lot more well-rounded, a little bit spicy, a little bit darker, but it's gonna be a little bit harder to wear than this one. And I'm gonna say right now that in terms of mass appeal factor, this is not even a review, but I can already tell that this one is gonna garner you more compliments than this one for sure. No competition at all. And in terms of performance, I'm gonna say that this one might perform even better than the new one because this one is so thick, it's so rich. Or maybe not in the longevity. The longevity might be the same, but in the projection for sure, this one is a lot more loosened up, and in the air it's gonna produce a way more cloudy type sillage than this one based off my experience testing fragrances. That's usually true. Fresher fragrances tend to project much more than just thick, rich, heavy fragrances. So I can already tell that this one is gonna be a more favorite amongst the more mass appealing crowd, the more casual user than this one, while you niche heads or you artistic people might enjoy this one more because it has a little bit more nuances and it has just a little bit more character than this one. So in terms of which one's better, it's good, it's good. In terms of which one is actually better right now off the initial first impression, I would say none of these are really better. They serve different purposes. If you're going for something more mass appealing, Absolute is better. If you're gonna go for something more artistic, Absolute Gold, it's better. So yeah, not really like a head-to-head battle, which one takes it as the king. Not really anything like that. This one is just like, you know, there's different purposes. and there's different types of users in fragrances. So mass appeal, this guy. Artistic, this guy. If you love the Armani Code Absolute DNA, those are your two choices. The mass appeal goes to Absolute and the artistic goes to Absolute Gold. It's just as simple as that so far in the first impression. Now to me, which one would I wear more? I'm gonna wear Absolute much more than Absolute Gold, that's for sure. But do I regret buying this bottle? No, I do not regret buying this bottle. This was a blind buy, by the way, because for me, I know I like the Armani Code Absolute DNA so much. Plus, I edited Ashton's video, so that kind of gave me some confidence that this is going to be good. So it's not a true blind buy because I did have some information on it already, and I do trust Ashton's taste because we do have sometimes similar taste when it comes to sweet fragrances. So yeah, I trusted his taste, I bought it, and it's good. I like it. It was a really nice, successful blind buy. So I don't regret buying this bottle at all. I do like it, and I will find time to wear it from time to time, especially in the near future, to do a full review for you guys. After I do a full review of this one, of course. I promised a review of this one for like months now. So I'm gonna do that one first, and then I'm gonna review this one. And then hopefully we get to the one or the Parfum Intense, and so on and so forth. I know I've been just kind of bad with schedule lately, but that's just how it is when you know, you're busy. That's it for today. Armani Code Absolute Gold is a win. Dolce Gabbana 1 or the Parfum Intense is a lose. Big L right now in terms of first impression anyway. But yeah, I'm gonna give these two fragrances some nice wearing and come back to you guys with a nice review or a nice update in my weekly rotation as I go on. All right, guys? Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Peace and bye.